How different do you feel now compared to when you first started this transition?
I guess I feel a lot more free. I mean, I'm pretty confident in my play style now, so even if I don't know something, I just go get the ball. And with last year, I felt at the beginning I was just doubting myself with a lot of stuff, just not really sure what to do in what moments. Now I kind of just go.
I mean, you did have considering the lack of experience, not only you played high school, but a different game at this level, you had a pretty good year. I mean, when you look back at what you did last year, what do you think? Are you satisfied, or do you kind of cringe?
I cringe,
Really?
mostly because we had Team Up North period today, and we watched the film. I haven't seen it until then, and that was pretty sick, so that was pretty rough. And I feel like that game overall just kind of determines what kind of season we had, and based on that, it wasn't too good.
Luke was in there telling us about how the game was on the TV the other day. He said the Team Up North game was on the TV the other day.
I didn't watch it. Okay. I didn't see it. I wouldn't watch it.
What happened in that game?
I'd rather not talk about it. It's April. We got I don't know 100, 200 so days until that day. Yeah. So we'll focus then.
Coach Combs kind of described you last year as like you see and you go, even if you don't always know where you're going, you're gonna attack. And he liked that about you, that you just kind of win. You know? Is that a fair way to put how last year was for you?
I guess, but now I'm kind of getting my ass chewed out for it. A couple times supposed to be a man, not go. Next thing you know, Coach Combs is mother effing me, telling me to get on the sideline. So it's a fine balance between it. You gotta know when to go and you gotta know when to do your job.
So now, I'm gonna assume that you know where you're supposed to be going.
I'd like to think I do, yeah.
Okay, so
sometimes a little iffy, but I mean getting the hang of it.
Yeah, it's new defense. Yeah.
New defense, yeah.
So when you do know where you're supposed to go and you're seeing and you're going, I guess how does that raise your ceiling as a linebacker?
It just makes it fun, and whenever the game's fun, you just play better.
I think you said Combs. You meant Knowles, right?
Oh yeah, that's on me. You said Combs, got Combs in my head. That's on me. All good.
I figured that's what you were going. I mean, how different is it for you guys that you're going to be playing at your base a 4-2-5 instead of a 3? Now, some of the semantics because you played a lot of 2 linebackers last year. But does that change the way you guys view your position at all? The fact that the base is a 2?
Really? No. I mean, it's just pretty simple. D-line gets the ball, linebackers kind of just do it all, and then back guys cover their guys, and I mean, just all working together, really. Pretty simple.
Has it made it more competitive? I mean, you guys now have some depth at those 2 positions. There's a lot of guys that can play. Mm-hmm. I mean, do you sense more competition?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we came in at the beginning of spring, it seemed like we had 38 linebackers. But I mean, now we've shortened it down a little bit, but I mean, we still got everyone in the room, just great player, great guys. So I mean, there's definitely competition all the way from top to bottom. So, I mean, it just raises all of our play and just makes us better players and better defense in general.
And in general, this defense, a lot of young guys played last year, now going through it a second time as comfortable guys. How much has that changed the defense, even while learning a new scheme?
I think that's huge, just even seeing it in spring ball. Just guys, like, I mean, off the top of my head, I know me, like Tommy, Rocket, we are all guys that just really starting to get into our roles last year. I mean, we're kind of tiptoeing around sometimes, but now it's just, we start to understand exactly what we're doing, we can just go. Just get that experience under us.
Sorry, not to cut you off. How does that help the communication on the line? When everybody knows what they're doing, how are you able to communicate a little bit better between all 3 of you?
Wait, repeat that again?
How does that help with the communication? When you know what you're doing and they know what they're doing, how does it help everybody say what's going on the field, what you're seeing?
It helps a lot. I mean, the communication really just stays the same, just the trust we have, like in the back all the way to the front, just knowing that guy behind us has our back, it really just helps just us being confident in doing our job.
How much have you picked up on from Jim? Ryan said he's not so much about competition right now, but more so about teaching. What have you learned so far?
We have learned a lot. It is, it's pretty amazing how much that he's put in through 10 practices now. At first, I was kind of pissed that we were doing all this stuff because, I mean, I just wanted to get out there and play, and we're putting in all these plays. But now, just kind of taking a step back and realizing what he's done to this defense, it's pretty outstanding.
How different is this defense, and how much confidence do you have in his scheme?
His scheme, I have all the confidence in the world in his scheme. I mean, he's a hard ass. He'll scream at you, but I know what he's doing for this program is pretty awesome.
How different is it than what you did last year?
As far as like coaching wise?
Well, just schematically.
Schematically, I'm pretty sure it's at its core it's the same, but I mean it's different. It's still a brand new defense.
So,
can't really say too much.
Was it a lot of time like spent in like meeting rooms, like learning like from film or learning from like him explaining the defense to you? Is that why you were kind of pissed or angry or whatever, or that you wanted to be out here kind of putting it into practice, or what was that like?
It's just, I mean, we would go one day, we'd run like a batch of plays. Next day, you put in like 10 plays, and then we go out and run all those plays again. If you don't get it right, get yelled at. I mean, that happens. So, I mean, it's just constantly just stacking. But, I mean, he's told us like what the process is. Sooner or later, we're going to have all that down. Then once we get to game time, we really shorten it up. Just start focusing in on what we have that week.
Kind of flooding you with stuff.
He's flooding us in, just really it's a lot.
And I don't know if you've thought about this at all, but I mean, is this something that you could have tackled last year? Like, I mean, at this time, transitioning from running back to linebacker, or is it kind of, does it help kind of knowing the position, like knowing what it takes to play linebacker, knowing what it's like, and then having all this thrown at you? If that makes sense.
I'd say right now I'm in a better position to learn it compared to probably where I would be last year.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd certainly be hard, but I mean, we still got guys like you got CJ, got Gabe, got all the young guys that are learning it really fast. So I feel like I'd be able to do it too.
How advantageous is it to have your position coach also be your defensive coordinator, especially when he's new?
It's kind of stressful, I'd say, like in film. It makes fun of us a lot. That's all I love. But I mean, it's stressful because I mean, he's top dog. He's really calling the shots, and I mean, he's also telling you like what kind of technique you got to have where. So I mean, it's nice because I mean, he's kind of just like the main head, and you're always with him 24/7.
He was hired to be the head coach of the defense. Did you really get that sense?
Excuse me?
He was hired to be the head coach of the
Oh yeah, and he has taken that role on like big time.
It seems like he's got a plan, like it's kind of all planned out of how he's going to teach you guys. Does that help kind of to know that like there's a plan of how he's going to teach you guys over the course of the spring and the summer?
Oh yeah, it's just really trusting the process and trusting the plan that he's put in. I mean, it's hard sometimes like trusting it, but I mean, you just got to have faith in it.
Were there ever times last year where you felt like the opposing offense maybe was a little too in tune to what you guys were doing?
Yeah.
I mean, is that frustrating?
Yeah, I won't speak much on that, but yeah.
And conversely, when you're talking about putting all this stuff in, but does that also make it more appealing to go through this now?
Yeah, knowing that we have more than like a couple, 2 or 3 plays in the game, yeah, it's definitely a lot better knowing that we've got more ammunition in the game.
Is that even already happening in practice? I mean, Coach Day has talked about there's a little more maybe there's more of a plan that CJ has to attack.
Oh yeah, I feel like we're confusing the offense a little more just as far as like what we're doing as a whole. But I mean, especially going against this offense, if we're confusing them sometimes, I feel like what we can do to other teams is pretty crazy.
You mentioned CJ and Gabe. What have you seen out of them? How have they grown over the course of these spring practices?
They're students of the game, man. I love those guys. I mean, they're coming in, doing extra tape and everything, looking over practice, asking questions to all the old guys. I know I wouldn't do that. I was shy as hell whenever I was little. But I mean, they're just great players, smart as hell. I mean, they're just flying around. Sometimes you don't know what to do, but they're still just making plays.
Is it weird to view yourself as an old guy in a room like the linebacker position, having only kind of been there 1 year, like switched at the college level for 1 year? Is that weird for you, or is kind of like just?
I haven't really thought about it like that. I just feel like I just treat everyone like equals. Like sometimes we'll have people call them like a young buck or whatever. I just like think everyone has an equal chance or whatever. Everyone's in the same boat.
Steele?
Right in the middle of the season?
It was definitely stressful, but I mean, with the support staff that we have here at Ohio State, on the academics, the football side, I mean, they put everything at ease and just kind of kept me in the loop. And it just allowed me to really play football and focus on fall camp and trying to get down the playbook.
So what was it that you had to get hashed out in order to become eligible?
I'm not really too sure on that. I just know it was a bunch of eligibility things, probably school-wise. But as far as like specifics, I'm not too sure. It's kind of something you got to talk to Coach Day about.
Yeah, I know Coach Day had said that you had gone through some stuff that kind of led to that situation. Kind of what happened in terms of leaving USC and all that.
Just a lot of personal things, things that I wouldn't like to discuss on here, but just a lot of personal things and just kind of looking for a second home and looking for another opportunity to get back to playing football and kind of just minimizing those distractions that I had in my life going on at the time.
What was it that made you feel like it was best for you to leave USC?
Really, it was just looking for hope. I mean, looking for another spot to play football and doing the things that I love. I mean, when you lose that love for something, it's kind of hard on you. But when you find a second home like Ohio State and you're able to do the thing that you love most, so it's kind of fun again. So yeah.
I know that you're close with Haskell. How much did he help you through that first year?
Oh, he helped me a lot. when I first came in, I stayed with him a little bit. I continue to stay with him, but we've been with each other since we were little kids. We grew up right down the street from each other, so it was nothing different. It's always family and always love.
What do you think you can bring to this linebacker corps this year?
Definitely a lot of energy. I feel like we have a lot of energy now, but just to add more energy on top of that is definitely something that I feel like I could bring.
Are you working in that Sam role a lot?
I'm working all over. Scheme-wise, I don't really know where they're going to have me end up, but for the most part, I'm pretty much all over right now.
Have you been working at the jack position at all?
Yeah, here and there. I've been kind of, like I said, just kind of all over, whether inside, outside, yeah.
Do you feel like there's a certain position that fits your skill set best, or are you kind of able to do everything?
I think all of them. I think just being able to build versatility and being able to play all 4 spots would definitely help me, but more importantly, the team. And me being a team player, I'll play any role that they want me to play.
Obviously, you didn't get to play a ton last year, so if you play more this year, what are people going to notice most about you?
Just, I would say instincts. Just being able to play recognition a little bit faster. That's something that I'm continuing to work on every day. But definitely that, and then I've also been, trying to get my physical abilities up and get some athleticism and stuff.
What's it been like just learning from Coach Knowles? What are the biggest things he's taught you so far?
Everything's detailed. Rather than looking at the big picture type of things, it's very detailed and taking the grand scheme of things and like minimizing into one little thing. So definitely working with Coach Knowles is definitely detailed. Everything is detailed.
Let's talk about Coach Knowles first. What have you learned from Coach Knowles, his system, and what do you like about it?
Coach Knowles is a genius. Like I said, great guy to be around. As soon as he come in the room, the energy just goes up. His energy is contagious. Love playing for him. Smart, like a very, very smart football coach. One of the smartest I've been around so far, just off these few months. And I'm excited to work with him.
Has your position changed any because of him?
Yes.
Tell me how.
Last year I played Will. This year I'm playing Mike.
Okay. And how different of a progression is that, or difference is that?
The whole defense really changed. So it's like I said, it's so many variable, different jobs and alignments. And this year I'm just more in the box.
And do you enjoy playing that role better, and do you enjoy this defense better?
Yes. I love this defense. Like I said, it's variable. We're aggressive. We're attacking. I love that.
How challenging was last year for you to go into the year as a starter, go in as a captain, and kind of lose playing time over the course of the year?
It was difficult for sure. Many don't know. I had some life-changing situations happen in my life off the field, and it kind of played a role in a lot of things. But it was challenging. But I'm staying true to the process. I love this program. I love everything about this program, and I'm excited for this season.
Do you think about
one of the driving reasons for you to want to come back here for your super senior year?
Yes, I want to win a national championship. We put in so much work, and I think it's time. It's time for us to win a national championship. So I decided to come work for that.
Think about moving on or transferring elsewhere?
No, I committed back to this place in 2017. Once I committed, I committed. I'm staying true to this program. I love this program. I love Coach Day and what he's done, and I'm all in.
Obviously, you were already a captain last year. How do you even grow on that and become a bigger leader this year?
Just working with the guys, going through Coach Mick's training, that's where the leadership shows up the most. And just, pushing the guys to understand that we have a goal, and that goal is to win the national championship and do whatever it takes.
Who are some of the other guys you see stepping up as leaders right now?
Tommy Eichenberg stepping up, Xavier Johnson, Cam Babb. It's so many guys that I can say this team this year, it's a lot of alphas, a lot of guys that want to step up to the plate and take leadership of the team. So
what's Tommy like when he steps up as a leader?
Oh man,
see him as a quiet
yeah. He's definitely he's quiet, but he's fierce, man. Like Tommy's a fierce dude, and love to be around him. He's quiet, but like I said, he takes control when he has to.
When you say fierce, define that from a football player standpoint.
It's hard to explain. Like, he's just about his business. Like, he comes in, it's no games with Tommy. Tommy, he ain't gonna play around. He'll play around a little bit, crack a smile here and there, but he's serious. He's about his business.
You touched on this a minute ago. Was last season almost like not a lost year for you, but I mean, like you said, the distractions, etc. Did you feel a little bit lost sometimes? I mean, what was the feeling for you like on the field, I guess?
Like I said, last year for me, I kind of let the off-field situations trickle in on the field. So, like I said, it was a rough time for me mentally, but I'm on a good track now and ready to roll.
So Roger, have you seen HBCU schools gained
Yes.
notoriety with Eddie George and
Yes.
Coach Prime. Notre Dame is scheduling Tennessee State. I know it's a little bit off the beaten path here, but are they getting more credibility and respect?
Oh, most definitely. That's huge, and I'm glad HBCUs are finally getting the credit they deserve. They have talent just like us. They have guys that can play ball just like us. So I'm so excited that HBCUs are finally getting the opportunity to compete at a high level with us.
Ryan Day said a few weeks ago that he felt like leadership was a big point of emphasis for you guys this year. Did you feel like last year, like maybe there wasn't as much leadership as you guys needed?
Most definitely. Like I said, we had leadership, but in those tough moments where we needed it, it wasn't where it needed to be. It was there, but it wasn't the standard of Ohio State and what we had in the past. You know, we had some leaders that were best leaders I've been around. So the standard wasn't there, but we're getting it there for sure.
I mean, just for my team. You know what I mean? Just trying to win for my team and, just try to play my best for the team.
Yeah. But what did you say to your teammates and stuff? What was going on right out there that just maybe brought out the best of you guys defensively in that second half that hadn't been there for a game and a half?
Just because, that half was the last time that team would ever be together. So it's like, what do you got to lose?
Yeah.
And, so.
Do you like being a leader?
I do.
Yeah.
I like having the responsibility. It's like if just you win, you lose, but I'll take the blame for anything,
What impresses me about you, maybe you don't think it says, but you're kind of a man of few words with us. Yeah. But when you hear that your leader, that your approach is paying off from other players talking about you as a leader, does it warm your heart? What does it? I mean, does it mean, hey, they're buying into sort of what I'm about? You understand what I'm saying? And if that can rub off on them, hey, that's a good thing. What's your top thoughts?
Yeah, I just like I like bringing everyone, upholding the standard that was from when I first got here. It's kind of bringing everyone along and let's do this together.
Yeah,
it's not everyone on the team is a leader. You know what I mean? It's like get everyone together. Let's go do this.
Is Tuck Borland, is he a guy that, I don't know how much you knew about him, but was he a guy that kind of led the way you're talking about?
Yeah, he was a great leader.
Yeah.
He was a really great leader. And, he was fierce, he was a competitor, he was tough, and I like that about him, too. So the team needs that. So.
Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah,
Tim May, by the way. Always a pleasure.
Coach was talking about experience as a linebacker from last year going into this year. Who have you seen that's gained that experience last year? Maybe they didn't get on the field, but they gained something by being in the room, being in the practices, and seeing what the reps looked like before the spring camp.
I'd say just about all linebackers, really. Just every linebacker, you get 1 year, and you know what plays are going to come and what defense you're running. And so I'd say everyone. I'd say Reed, Steele, Taraji, Cody, Kuwatch, Pace, Chip.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of all of them. CJ.
Yeah.
Gabe. Yeah, it's all of them. EA.
How did you see the room come together, too, with all the changes that were made in the offseason and trying to figure out who was going to be the coach of the position, but you guys knew that you still had each other. How did you see that group maybe come together in a way?
Yeah, we got closer. We got close and just stuck together. So,
what's the biggest difference for you between year 1, year 2, playing this coming season?
Just experience. More experience helps. So.
What does that snap count do for you? I know experience is obviously you've seen that.
You see a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You see a lot of stuff, and you see a lot of stuff in the game. And so you're kind of ready for whatever they throw at you. You'll never see it all, but you'll see more and more each time you play.
When you see more, it obviously does something for you, but what does it do for the other guys on the field? What are you able to communicate with them? Because you are relied upon in a little bit of a way to make sure you relay that message. So when you see stuff, what do you try to relay to those guys?
I try to tell them what's coming. Like if I got a linebacker next to me or D-line's helping us out or stuff like that, it's communication back and forth. Just working as a team to try to stop that offense.
What is it about Jim that maybe stood out to you when you first met him or first couple of practices?
He's a good dude. He's tough. He's smart. He's a good guy.
I know Ryan said part of his philosophy was less competition, more teaching. What have you learned so far from Jim specifically? I know you can't get into game specifics, but what have you learned from him as a teacher?
A lot of stuff. Yeah, he's smart. It's interesting just being with Coach Washington and being with Coach Knowles. You got two great minds. You know what I mean? And it's awesome. Just how much knowledge I've learned from both of them.
Appreciate the time, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
Yep. Thanks, Tommy. Yeah, appreciate it. Have a good one.